President Akufo-Addo has reiterated his commitment to rid the country of politically related violence and demanded a shift from the phenomenon. Describing as reckless and shameful the political climate in the country, the president repeated his call for dialogue between the NPP and the NDC to firmly deal with the issue of party militias. The president was addressing the 62nd Independence Day celebration parade in the northern regional capital, Tamale, the first time the main celebration has been held outside Accra.
For the first time in the history of the country, Accra, the national capital, did not get to host the Independence Day parade. As part of moves to consolidate the peace currently being enjoyed in Dagbon, the president announced at this year's State of the Nation address he is moving the parade to the north.
I have decided that this year, the official 62nd Independence Day celebration will be held in Tamale on 6th March.
And so was it. The parade provided the president opportunity to address some topical socio-economic issues like the depreciation of the cedi and the worrying trend of militias affiliated with political parties. The president did touch on the command and operations of the Ghana Police Service, one of the issues that have come up at the ongoing Short Commission of Inquiry, announcing a review of the service instruction of the police to make it more responsive to the internal security needs of the country.
For the first time since the colonial Gold Coast era, the police service instructions that govern every aspect of internal professional behavior have been wholly revised. From the Code of Ethical Conduct to administration, welfare, recruitment and training, use of firearms, the new service instructions puts into writing specific directions for every rank: police orderlies, charge officers, crime officers, regional and divisional commanders, commissioners of police, through to the authority of the Inspector General of Police himself in every aspect of their work. The police must police themselves first.
The president laid the benchmark for measuring a country's success, arguing it should not be measured by the number of broken bones.
Under a multi-party democracy, we must have elections that would invariably be keenly fought. There is no room, and there should be no room, for violence in this whole process. It should be a contest of ideas that seeks to win over the hearts and minds of the people. Success should be counted by how many young people go to school and get skills and jobs, and not by how many young people can be muscled to disrupt elections or how many broken bones we can count. The people of Ghana do not deserve to be toyed with in such a reckless manner.
The president, however, carefully avoided commenting about the cedi, which continues to depreciate against the dollar and other international trading currencies. Bank of Ghana has, however, announced plans to inject a minimum of $800 million United States dollars to the country's reserves this month to stabilize the currency.
Meanwhile, the plan to move the National Independence Parade away from the Black Star Square appears not to have reached all concerned, as some people thronged the usual venue only to be disappointed. JoyNews' Joshua Smith spoke with him.
The Black Star Square has always been the venue for marking Ghana's independence celebrations. Many people who usually throng the Independence Square to watch the marching ceremony as usual went there on March 6 expecting to enjoy a colorful ceremony. But they were disappointed. The ceremony had been shifted to Tamale in the northern region for the first time, but they did not get the memo. Some school children who are dressed up in their uniforms expecting to see and listen to the president left unhappy.
I don't feel all right. I want to see my friends and I want to see the president of Ghana. I wanted to be in Accra here because here, that's the place we know. So I want the celebration to be done in Accra.
I feel very sad, and this place is boring because we thought it would be held here, but the place is empty. As you can see, the place is very empty. So, we are not even enjoying it. To me, I'm not enjoying the Independence Day.
As an ordinary Ghanaian, I don't feel it's to be a natural thing because Accra happens to be the capital town of Ghana. And without the independence taking place here, it looks quite awkward in a way, because I overheard most of my people around saying it's not the best idea. Even if there is the independence happening at Tamale, at least there should be something entertaining happening here as well, because we can't just leave the capital of Ghana empty like this.
But they were not alone. Some tourists were also not updated on the change of venue, so they had to find other ways of spending their holiday.
Yeah, it's not the best feeling, I know, but I think that's good for Ghana because the northern region is pretty far away from the southern region, and so the Tamale region can explore the Independence Day as well, not only the southern Accra region. And I think for the Ghanaian people, for the region, that's a benefit. But I think for us as volunteer workers, for tourists, it's quite disappointed. We thought here will be a small parade or something like that, but yeah, we expected a little bit more. But it's still nice to be here.
As a foreigner, I feel a bit sad about it because I'm staying here 1 year and I wanted to see Independence Day here and come here to see something. But I think for you here in Ghana, it's okay that it's rotating. That's not only just in Accra. I think here in Accra should be something small, but the president can be somebody else, a big parade. But a small parade would be cool when it would be here.
But it wasn't all gloomy. Others entertained themselves by performing bicycle stunts. Joshua Smith's report for JoyNews.
A clash between two rival youth groups at a Bekan suburb of Accra forced a cancellation of independence celebrations in the Okankwe North municipality. Several properties, including a church, were vandalized by rampaging youth who had stormed the area to avenge the death of one of their colleagues said to have been stabbed on Monday. Residents had to flee their homes to escape the reprisal attack. My colleague Maxwell Agbagwa visited the area this morning and filed the following report.
Here at the Fadama cluster of schools, well, what is happening here is that a lot of the dignitaries who were supposed to be present here for the 62nd celebration here on this compound are arriving, but a lot of them disappointed about the turn of events. We've been speaking to some of the students who told us that they've been rehearsing for 3 weeks for today's commemorative event, but it looks like that is not happening. These head teachers also just arrived here and they got information that the event has actually been called off. A lot of them disappointed.
I'm Vida Boafwa Eji, head teacher of Damboy JHS.
Okay.
I'm Jacqueline Dayamo, head teacher of Security Basic School. Okay. I attended the program, and when I came, I just saw that there was nobody around. So I asked, and you told me that there was an incident here, violence between Abeka and Fadama. And so the program has been called off. Okay. That's all that I know by the municipal chief executive. I am not aware. You told me.
The two of you are head teachers?
Yes, please. We are.
What's the information that you also got?
Just like my sister told you, I just arrived seeing the place bare or empty without students or teachers ready for the function. And I'm told there is some violence between Fadama youth and Abekan youth. And therefore, the municipal chief executive thought it wise to call off the program.
I was very happy when I was coming. I was excited to come here and come and march. But when I reached here, there is nobody here. They said we will not march again.
So how do you feel about this?
Very bad. I feel very bad and sad.
Firstly, I was very excited that we were having such a program coming on in our school. So we were well trained, and some cadet men were also here to perform how we are going to perform on this coming city march. I'm extremely sad and peeved that such a program was coming on and then suddenly it has been cancelled by what happened yesterday night.
It's unfortunate, so unfortunate. Every year we celebrate this Ghana's independence year. But this year, I feel it is a plot. Somebody just want to destroy the program. Not just because what happened had happened in Fadama. It is somebody's wish to destroy the program, and he has succeeded in doing it.
Why would they want that to happen?
The Hohoe Municipal Chief Executive Teddy Ofori has announced the Assembly's preparedness to award the best 3 performing schools in the municipality in the Basic Education Certificate examinations. This, according to him, is aimed at encouraging pupils to study and perform exceedingly well in the final exams to place them on a pedestal to becoming useful citizens in the future. He was speaking at the 62nd Independence Day Parade held at Hohoe.
Participants from 20 selected public and private basic schools and 2 second cycle schools in the Hohoe municipality dazzled patrons at the 62nd Independence Day Parade. The parade saw various styles of salutes from the participants. The St. Anthony's School chose to portray the Ghanaian culture by dressing in local attire, which won the admiration of the crowd. Speaking to JoyNews after the parade, the Hohoe Municipal Chief Executive, Teddy Ofori, expressed satisfaction at the display of commitment by the teachers and pupils. He announced the Assembly's resolve to initiate some interventions, which includes the awarding of best 3 performing schools in the BECE to improve the municipality's standard of education.
Participate, otherwise the whole day will be there. But what actually interested me most is the enthusiasm. The churches were involved, brass bands, community brass bands and church brass bands, school cadets, they were all involved. That shows that everybody wants or is happy about Ghana's independence. And so we have to tell them that this should not be the only way we show appreciation or we show enthusiasm. We have to put our energies or divert our energies into productivity. We want to go beyond the aid, as the whole nation is talking about. The president is always passionate about that. So for now, today, we want the school children to know that hard work, perseverance is very key for success.
He also enumerated some development projects being undertaken under his administration.
Apart from the problem we're all talking about, the Eastern Corridor Road, which government is passionate about, we are talking about Hohoe Town roads, which have been asphalted or coated. We have reshaped a number of the township roads. We have reshaped a number of feeder roads. We are continuing government get fund projects, classroom blocks, dormitory blocks in secondary schools, providing furniture for secondary schools, boreholes, institutional toilets. We are doing so much. We have finished the Deepe Secondary School administration block.
The occasion was graced by the Energy Minister, John Peter Amewu, who is a son of the soil. Fred Kwame Asare's report for JoyNews.
Ga Kenke, as the name suggests, is a meal of the Ga people, though it is enjoyed by all Ghanaians. Komi, as it is known locally, remains a popular food item because all one needs is sauce and protein to make it into a dish. It also trumps many food items when it comes to shelf life. JoyNews' Komla Dome, as part of our Ghana Man series, set out to find out how it came by its local name, Komi. Reports it's a corrupted version of how it was originally known.
Komi Kekinan, historically a traditional Ga meal, predominantly made by people in Ga communities like Choko, Jamestown, Osu, Ashomang, among others. For decades before the colonial masters reached Ghana's shores, it was simply called Otim.
Many decades ago, the corn was milled on stones multiple times. It was cumbersome, but gradually the name Otim has faded.
But the arrival of the whites meant the prehistoric way of grinding the corn using the stone mill was to change. Esther Kwaku, a Ga teacher, speaks of this shift.
Walk a bro for match on me, I mean, I can, but on that one, I can feel come here, toilet. The
introduction of the electronic corn mills during the colonial era, residents in the Ga communities could not keep up with mentioning corn mill. It got corrupted and became simply called komi, what we know today.
The local Ga Kenke would assume its new name, komi, in the 1990s. Mary Kote and Mabio are continuing a 20-year-old family legacy business of kenke making at Kokomlemle. And like others who have done this for years, they have come to know the popularity the Ga Komi has attained.
3 days. Abalu, Chinsen, poto,
After the maize is soaked for 3 days and milled, the dough is kneaded with some cassava dough. Then fresh dough is mixed with the kneaded dough and left for some hours to ferment. The dough is now molded into balls and boiled in a pot for 3 hours.
Mary and Mabio spend half of each day to prepare the dish for sale, from milling the corn to kneading the dough and to molding the balls. With an average of 300 balls a day, more hands are required, and with 10 staff, they keep this family business going. The Ga Komi is eaten with fried fish, and a breakfast, lunch, or supper is settled.
Ga Kenke is served with hot chili, black pepper sauce, or even soup, and of course, fried fish. Ga Kenke can be mashed and eaten with milk and sugar and some peanuts.
The city capital is awash with kenke vendors nearly every 500 to 800 meters. And increasingly, many Ghanaians have made it a meal of convenience. But beyond the nourishment the Ga Komi provides, there are some medicinal properties. Solomon Soajete tells us why patients at the VRA hospital opposite their cookhouse are referred by health officials to collect some portion of the kenke stock water.
The stock water from the kenke preparation has been used to deal with fever and malaria. It cleanses the system.
3 days, 4 days.
The stock water from the cooked kenke, called otinshinu in Ga, has more than anti-malarial properties.
The 3-day-old stock water plus lemon is used by breastfeeding mothers to refill and regenerate breast milk. The VRA hospital right opposite our shop refers lots of patients here who come and get the commodity. There's a mad rush for it.
Some kenke entrepreneurs say corn husks are effective in dealing with cholesterol rises and bladder infections too. So with the mad rush for Ga Komi and the stock water from cooking the komi, Mary Kote, Mabio and Solomon Ajete are optimistic they can carry on the komi business for many years to come. And consumers like Godsway will continue to have a source of lunch every day.
Oh, kenke is a food that when I take it, I'm okay. But something like rice or something like that, I don't feel okay. But if I take kenke, I'm okay.
How often do you take kenke?
Every day.
So this is the authentic Ga meal we speak about. Actually, Ga Komi. Called not fluffy, okay. Thin and fuel. What we've been speaking about is the meal which many have described as easy on the pocket, made in Ghana, nutritious,
That is the Gan Kinky. When next you decide to go for a lunch meal, I'm sure you know what to choose. Authentic Gan Kinky.
Well, following closely on the popularity rankings after Komi is a Fanti Kenke, also known locally as Mfanti Dokun. Whilst the Gankenke is wrapped in corn husk, the Fanti sibling uses plantain leaves. Central Region correspondent Richard Kujunyako reports there's something romantic about the Fanti Kenke, which has for generations put smiles on the faces of people it's encountered, whilst also filling their bellies.
Fanti Kenke, Mfanti Dokun, is basically kneaded corn dough cooked in dried plantain leaves. It is popular in all Fanti communities, but Amosama and Yamransa have gained accolades as far as the preparation of Fanti Kenke is concerned. Abatewia sits in a circle with her colleagues preparing the dish. This is the way Abba and her community folks prepare the Fanti Kenke. You get corn, preferably the dry corn. Soak it in water for a day and mill it. You knead the milled corn and keep it for a day. After this, you mix the uncooked portion with the cooked portions, carefully considering the amount of water until you have a smooth texture. Balls are then formed from the dough and cooked in dry plantain leaves over a 6-hour period. With special skills acquired and several decades of practice, it is unlikely for a kenke maker in Amosama, Yamransa, Abra, Cape Coast, and any Fanti community to get it wrong. The expertise in making the Fanti Kenke has endeared them to many customers from far and near. Women in the community have also done well in marketing the delicacy. We sell more during the weekends and sell less during the weekdays. Many people stop over here. I have many customers because they attest that my kenke is the best.
On the Cape Coast Yamransa Accra Highway, community women, usually middle-aged women, sit behind packed balls of kenke, usually wrapped in blue polythene bags, ready to sell to their customers.
They wave their hand as if they are stopping your vehicle, but that's a style they have adopted to attract your attention.
Well, I'm just coming from Nzima, and I'm a disco boy, and Fanti Kenke Yamransa is the best. So anytime I come to Ghana, I make sure I stop by Yamransa to buy Fanti Kenke, no matter what. And I take them with me to the US.
This trade of theirs has sustained generations of families for years. Abaya, Imadiza, Antiagi, Kukua might just be names, but to the women, it is a branding tool.
Believe it or not, this Fanti Kenke is used in place of grease for tubeless tires when they have puncture, to put the vehicles back on the road. You might have heard Amosama Dokun was a sort tie, which means the kenke from Amosama is used to mend tires. And Uncle Kubu organizer here says he's been using this kenke for this unconventional purpose, and he's been working perfectly.
The kenke, when the rim is spoiled, you use kenke to repair the tires. The air inside the tire. Yeah, that is why you use kenke.
Does it work perfectly?
Perfectly. Yeah, it's perfectly. That's why the kenke is good for organizers to do work. Olden days, be long time. Olden days, the people used kenke to repair the tire.
The Fanti Kenke is best served with Mfanti, fresh fish stew, or tilapia, and it is said this delicacy has helped many women here win the hearts of many men
that have traveled to the coast. In fact, you are likely to empty your bank account to the fancy woman who gives you a special delicacy like this. Well, if you doubt me, why not try it? Richard Kwejunyako, Joy News, Cape Coast.
The Oti River has a ferry that appears to be the most trusted means of transport for all manner of cargo from one side of Dambai to the other. People in the area, however, lament getting your goods on the ferry has become too expensive. Some drivers say they pay as much as 200 cedis to get their vehicles across the river. They are therefore appealing to government to construct a bridge over the Oti River to ease the cost of travel. JoyNews' Henry Kwesi Badu has been speaking with some of them.
It's dawn at the northern end of the Oti River. Commuters and motorists wait anxiously for the ferry to arrive from Dambai, the capital of the newly created Oti region. As they say, the early bird catches the worm. Some travelers were here as early as 3 a.m. to catch the first ride. Sellers take advantage of a situation to get some cash. But there's a big problem. The people are worried about the high charges by the operators of the ferry. Idrisu Ibrahim is a truck driver. His cargo vehicle, loaded with yam, must be carried on the ferry from Pandai to Dambai.
You can imagine here, this short distance, they take 100 Ghana, 120 Ghana cedis. That one should have been my chop money and then they miss. But I have to use it to pay. So all these things are challenges against the business.
After a long wait, the Eagle finally lands. Vehicles and travelers get on board the ferry, with buses given priority. Passengers are charged 1 Ghana cedis, while cars are charged by weight. Yao Kwenefo is a VVIP bus driver. He says charges are exorbitant. Kofi, however, wants the government to construct a bridge across the river.
We are appealing to the government to construct a bridge across the river, now that Dambai is the capital of the newly created Oti region. This will ease the cost of ferrying our cars across to Dambai. Anytime I get on board the ferry with my car, I am charged 200 cedis. This is too expensive. This is worrying. We need a bridge.
So, Dambai Oti region dia, bridge and
But captain of the ferry, Wisdom Opoku, says the charges are fixed by government.
Is by the government. I may not say anything about that one.
This is the only means by which residents, vehicles and goods cross the Oti River in order to access the nation's capital and other towns of the northern region. With an overpass not an agenda of government now, residents of Pandai, Dambai and environs have no other option than to pay for these fares they describe as quite expensive. Henry Kwesibedu's report for Joy News.
A not-for-profit hospital specializing in complex spinal surgery, Focus, says they have recorded about 1,200 Ghanaians living with spinal disorders needing urgent surgery to correct the defect. Its CEO and founder, Professor Oheneba Boacheje, is appealing to corporate Ghana and philanthropists to assist the facility to provide urgent health care to individuals throughout Africa. He made this call at the commissioning of the $1.6 million MRI suite co-funded by philanthropic family Highland and the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation to improve diagnosis in Accra. Emmanuel Juvenu was at the event and our reports.
It's 11-year-old Fatih Mansaya from Sierra Leone and Benedicta Odame Bedua, 14-year-old Ghanaian. These girls have a common orthopedic disorder. They have a curved spine that limits them from standing straight. Their condition is also painful, making it difficult for them to attend school and live normal lives. Benedicta says because of her condition, her friends tease and taunt her.
I stay at Kofodia with my grandmother, who is a trader. And maybe I run errands for my grandmother, people will be staring at me.
Ghana has inadequate specialists and facilities to handle such deformities, which are expensive, so only privileged families are able to afford surgeries. Due to this, only a few privileged families are able to afford orthopedic care for their wards in Europe and America. Focus Hospital was therefore established to provide comprehensive orthopedic care to the less privileged in society. The hospital is sustained by donations, sponsorships, and internally generated revenue through its outpatient and surgical operations. The facility was confronted with the challenge of acquiring a $1.6 million magnetic resonance imaging MRI scan to improve on its diagnosis. Fortunately, the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation has responded to their need by contributing $600,000 after a philanthropist donated $1 million to the project. At the official commissioning of the MRI suite in Accra, CEO of GMPC, Dr. KK Sapon, said 35 persons with orthopedic problems from GMPC's operational catchment areas will be operated for free.
We went into good agreement. So this public-private partnership is going to see to about 35 surgeries of the nature that we just saw.
CEO and founder of Focus Hospital, Professor Oheneba Boacheje, called for more support to help them extend surgeries to many people needing it.
We had an MOU and we agreed that by them giving us the funding challenge, that we'll also reciprocate by translating that into helping needy Ghanaians who are from their GMPC operational areas. A couple of weeks ago, about 20 patients came here for review, and several of them will need surgery, and then we'll again identify the needy who need it. I mean, everybody needs surgery, but when you have so much to go around, you can only pick a handful. And we hope others will also come on board and help us take care of those who are not in the catchment area, but also need help.
Children here do not only undergo surgery, they also receive tuition too.
We also occupy them, let them forget about their sickness, and especially for them not to have a homesick, because some of them, they don't have friends at home, and we try to give them opportunity to make friends, to smile, to play with each other, and most of all, for them to know that their disability is not inability for them to learn. So we give them all that opportunity so that they will feel comfortable. And when they are going back home, they become totally a different person. Not only for them to stand tall, but also to get additional knowledge for their future.
Orthopedic disorder is the second most common cause of deformity in the world. Emmanuel Givenus reports for JoyNews.
Tuesday's appearance by National Security Operative Bright Akomia before the Justice Short Commission brought out interesting revelations that got social media buzzing. With his weird, interesting and funny utterances, Mr. Akomia, also known as Double, joined the pack of witnesses whose testimonies touched off a storm on social media and earned him a double appearance in the bulletin. There is more in the following report.
Teach. Sometimes you will go and lay ambush for a particular assignment, director. So based on the type of operation that we conduct, we take along, and sometimes too, the rain will be at the mercy of the rain.
The statement set the internet on fire. DSP Samuel Azugu's moment of fame as he topped the Twitter trends for more than 2 days. He has certainly become a household name when people discuss revelations at the commission. The SWAT commander has so far been the most talked about witness to appear before the Justice Short Commission. But he may well have lost this enviable slot to Bright Akomia, nicknamed Double, who testified yesterday.
Mobile phones at Circle.
I was selling mobile phones at Circle.
What a career jump. The commissioner had some questions on how Double ended up with the national security.
Because vetting, yes, I taking my fingerprint, yes,
I I went for vetting, and I was my fingerprints were taken as well.
Because I tried for 3 weeks.
The commissioner had been told operatives are not allowed to hold arms during operations, but Double managed to borrow an AK-47.
Yeah, mommy too, but you could do grounds on a yeah, Mr. Zugo order as a young corner. A driver now, Okita can or a police in it. Tono de na me fakita de call.
They did not give me one, but when we got there to investigate the shooting, I took one from a driver and I went there.
Double is also very powerful when he is at his duty post at the Kotoka International Airport.
Met him before.
Na medika boan or VIP hona sana. I
had already helped him at the VIP lounge before I got to help him.
So you are at the airport and you are helping MPs to break the law?
Two airports on our MP say break the law. No, please.
Double.
Yes, my lord.
Why do they call you Double?
I didn't hear for Double.
Me pacho me ko technical school na me automobile engineer. Na you laying out no, double laying out. Nti ebia na yakwa as a school near phone one near above for now when you tell back say double laying I actually na dem nya you drew workshop na na ma start challenge double laying out when you be so. Nti no na I'm a school for started double na the Bible team be double.
I knew how to do double layout, and then I was named after that.
Thank you very much, Maps, and now be it for the bulletin. I'm Israel. Thank you very much for watching. You have a good night.